voulait plus un accord pour travailler ensemble comme on a toujours travaillé, quoi. D'un sens, eux, ils viennent et ils livrent toutes leurs marchandises et tout. Comme ça leur permet d'écouler toutes leurs marchandises. Et nous, de l'autre côté, on vient pêcher dans les eaux là. Comme ça, tout le monde se trouve leur compte, quoi.
For more on this story, we can go across to our international affairs editor, Philip Turle. Philip, what is this Jersey fishing row about exactly?
Well, if you listen to what that fisherman was just saying, you can understand that they're very worried that they're seeing their livelihoods sinking into the sea because of these new restrictions that have come into effect since the Brexit deal became valid on the 1st of January this year. For the last 5 decades, due to the fact that Britain and France were both members of the European Union, French fishermen could go into British waters and fish, and there was no trouble. Since the Brexit deal came into effect and Britain has left the EU, that has all changed now. And French fishermen are now required to have permits to be able to go into British fishing waters. So what they're complaining about is the fact that these permits are much more restrictive than they originally thought they were going to be. There are more measures for them to adhere to than they expected after the Brexit deal was signed. And basically, they can't fulfill them all. They haven't had time to prepare. I'll give you a few of them. The fishing boats have to be able to be easily located when they're in the fishing waters around Jersey. Only regular fishing boats that go in there on a regular basis, will be permitted to have the permits. Fishermen will have to say what they're going to catch, so that the Jersey authorities will be able to keep tabs on that, and also how many times a year they're going to be going into those waters to fish. And they say, well, these are too many measures. There are others as well which are on the list that they have to adhere to. And they say, well, basically, we haven't had time to prepare. And for many of us, the fact that we're now prevented from going into the fishing waters around Jersey means that we're going to lose up to 80% of our business, and we can't make ends meet. So in retaliation, the French have said, well, they're not going to allow Jersey fishermen to unload their catches in French ports, and that's going to seriously damage their prospects of making any money. And the French Minister for Maritime Affairs, Annick Girardin, has said that there's even a threat that France could cut off electricity supplies to Jersey through 2 cables under the sea. And that accounts for 95% of electricity to Jersey as a retaliatory method.
But will France do that? Will the situation spiral out of control?
Well, it's difficult to say. I don't think they will. I think that the interest on both sides here is to find some kind of an agreement. Now, there are 2 Royal Navy ships that have arrived in the area. They have guns on board, but the British authorities are saying, well, don't worry, we're not going to fire the guns at the French fishing boats, which are protesting mostly peacefully. What the 2 British ships are there for, they're acting like policemen at a demonstration, and they won't get involved in the fight. But France has also sent a patrol boat to the area, but there's not much it can do because it's not in French waters anymore. So Boris Johnson has given his unequivocal support to the people of Jersey, but there are talks scheduled. So there is progress. There are talks scheduled today between Ian Gorst, who is the Minister of Internal Affairs in Jersey, and some of the French fishermen. So someone down the line is going to have to give in first. The French are saying they're not going to give in. The British are saying they're not going to give in either. But for some kind of deal to be worked out, one side is going to have to give in. And I think that it's in the interest of both parties to find a solution as quickly as possible.
We'll see who blinks first. Thank you very much for that, Philip. Philip Turle there.